Hi, I'm Josh, and today I'm going to show you how to take Kraft mac and cheese and make it into something amazing. So the first step in making some good Kraft mac and cheese is 1, always follow the directions on the box, and 2, throw it away. Next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a pot. You want to put some water in it, and always salt the water. Now we're going to turn the heat on to high until we get a rolling boil. Now while we wait for the water to come to a rolling boil, let's go ahead and talk pasta for a minute. There are many different types of pasta that you can use to make some good fashioned macaroni and cheese. My favorite is the shell pasta, but you also have fusilli and elbow macaroni. Elbow macaroni is typical in the Kraft mac and cheese variant. Now that we got the water to a rolling boil, we're going to drop the heat down to a medium. We're going to take the pasta that I like to use, which is shell pasta, and we're just going to dump that right on in there. Now this pasta is going to cook until it is about al dente, which for this pasta is going to take about 8 to 9 minutes. Now as the pasta cooks, we're going to come over here to a slightly smaller pot like this one here. And what we're going to do is we are going to make the sauce. Now, there are 5 mother sauces, okay? Today we're going to make a bechamel. A bechamel is a really easy sauce to make. In order to make the bechamel, you need equal parts of fat and flour. So we're going to take 1 stick of butter. We're going to put that in there until it melts. As we can see, our butter is melting very nicely. What we're going to do is we're going to stir this around a bit. Let all that butter come together. Now to the butter, we're going to add flour. And all we're going to do is we're going to get this all stirred together and mixed together until it cools, well not really cools, but forms a nice paste. Okay, this paste in the culinary realm is called a roux. And a roux is one of the key ingredients needed to making a sauce. As we get it all melted together, as you see, we have a nice color on that roux. It's coming together nicely. Now we add some salt, white pepper powder, ground mustard, and some onion powder. And we're going to stir this in and get it all mixed together. We want this to cook down pretty well because we don't want to taste the grains of the powders that we put in here. So we're going to make sure that this is cooked down pretty well. Now when you make your cheese sauce for a macaroni, you can literally use any kind of cheese that you want. Okay, you want to stay away from the pre-bagged, pre-packaged cheeses. The reason why is because 1, they don't have good meltability to them, and 2, they have a coating on them to prevent them from sticking in the package. You don't want that. So as this comes together, it's exactly what we want right there. Now comes the tricky part. We add our milk. And now we're going to stir this constantly until it is all blended together and it doesn't really look like anything except for milk in a pot. Now what's going to happen is the roux is going to activate with the milk, and it's basically going to begin to turn into a nice thick hearty sauce. And once we have that hearty sauce made, then we're going to add our cheese. Alright, so it's starting to come together a little bit. I can feel it in the spoon as I stir it, starting to thicken up a bit. So now we're going to add our cheese. Let's go ahead and get all that cheese in there. Now we're going to mix the cheese into the sauce, and what was once a white sauce, as the cheese melts, will slowly turn into a nice orange, almost Velveeta-like texture on the cheese. Okay, so the pasta's done. We got some nice melting going on in this pot here. And what we're going to do is, now that we've cooked the pasta to an al dente, is we're going to remove the pasta like so, nice and slowly. Let it all drain out. It's okay if some pasta water makes the transition over into the pot. And then we add the pasta. And then we get it all mixed together. Now the pasta will finish cooking inside the sauce. So the mac and cheese is almost done. We have a nice, creamy, thick sauce. The pasta has finished cooking inside the sauce. The pasta is going to have a slight bite to it. That does not mean that it is undercooked. In fact, it is perfect. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate up a bowl and show you what it looks like. And there you have it, homemade macaroni and cheese that you can make at home. The recipe will be in the description below. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Please get at me on Instagram and Twitter at jmatson20. And I hope to see you in the next video.